Дойче Дунков, ты еще увидишь, как из-за твоей продажной глупости, Анна-Лена Бербок, Берлин будет гореть.
Надо как-то сделать так, чтобы американские солдаты начали гибнуть.
Да мы сотрем в порошок Варшаву и Вильнюс.
Почему мы признаем Францию в ее границах?
Как я хочу посмотреть, чтобы Урсулиха фон дер Ляля корчилась с куском беспилотника в глотке.
Когда на сегодняшний день мы говорим, что война будет безъядерной, мы, наверное, лукавим.
По количеству на душу населения, правда, Канада ее опережает, но Америка — это мировая держава победила.
Я сейчас требую спалить Берлин.
Welcome to another episode of Russian Hate Speech, where we continue to break down the most absurd statements from Russian propagandists trying to fuel anti-Western sentiments among Russians. Today's episode focuses on how Russian propagandists are intensifying threats, particularly toward Germany and the West as a whole. Let's start with one of Russia's most notorious propagandists, Vladimir Solovyov, and his nuclear warning aimed directly at Germany.
As soon as Germany issues an ultimatum, we must launch a nuclear strike against all objects on German territory that pose a potential threat to us, so there will be no illusion in Germany that we would allow a repetition of the tragedy of the Great Patriotic War.
Such fear-mongering claims seek to rekindle old hostilities and stoke nationalist sentiments, making nuclear escalation sound like a rational policy. It's a frightening reminder of how casually the Kremlin's propagandists wield the language of war. Solovyov doesn't stop there. In his next statement, he reinforces the same aggressive stance, focusing again on Berlin with yet another threat.
I repeat for the 100th time, come to your senses in Berlin. This time we will not only be satisfied with the ruins of the Reichstag, but we won't leave.
Solovyov's rhetoric here serves a dual purpose. On the one hand, it's a direct intimidation tactic aimed at current German leadership, and on the other, it's a rallying cry for a Russian audience that is continuously fed nostalgic narratives of Soviet triumph. Finally, let's turn to Russian military expert Andrei Klintsevich, who paints a much broader picture of Russia's ambitions. For him, the battle goes beyond Ukraine. It's about dismantling the entire Western security framework, starting with NATO.
I have already said that the West will be with us for a long time, and most importantly, if they are pushing the boundaries, claiming that they want to tear Russia apart, what do we have to hide? We all understand that our goal will not end with the special military operation. We must break up NATO. We are concerned about that, as well as about the US and Britain, countries that terrorize the whole world. We are interested in causing them trouble, and they will resort to terrorist methods, as they like to do.
So what do we see in these statements? Solovyov's calls for nuclear strikes and fantasies of occupying Berlin, paired with Klintsevich's broader vision of dismantling NATO, paint a chilling picture of Russian propaganda. This rhetoric is designed not just to stoke fear, but to cultivate an acceptance of endless conflict and aggression as a necessary part of Russia's survival. By casting their enemies as existential threats, these propagandists are preparing the public for a war without end. That's all for today's episode of Russian Hate Speech. Remember, staying aware of this rhetoric is essential to understanding how propaganda distorts reality and stirs up dangerous ideologies. Stay informed, and we'll see you next time as we continue to dismantle the Kremlin's war on truth.